So much for being here. So you're making clear your message is you're not going to leave entirely, but you're definitely not going to add any more restaurants here under this new leadership. Why do you take such issue with the new mayor?
Currently, we had 3 leases ready to sign in October. Upper West Side, Upper East Side, and West Side Midtown to expand Diner 24, because we were the first to bring back the 24-hour diner post-COVID. Because remember, all of them closed, and we brought back the 24-hour diner, and it really was such a success. We wanted to open 4 altogether just in the Manhattan area. But when I start hearing uncertainty, and I start hearing, defund the police, and a lot of uncertainty in the small business areas of what I'm hearing this upcoming mayor campaigning on, we like clarity. We don't like guessing. So right now we're just like a sit back and wait and see if he could pass some of these things that he campaigned on, because we're not going to open businesses in that climate.
So if not in New York City, where else might you open more business?
Well, we have 2 diner leases ready to go in Miami, where I am right now.
Oh, you guessed it. Florida. Ever since Mamdani won the election in New York City, it's been on and popping, money fleeing from the city. As far as the corporations, they're investing more money in places like Texas. I mean, a lot of money moving in Dallas right now. The whole metro, Dallas, Fort Worth. But Zohran Mamdani is making a lot of money for Florida too right now. Not only do you have rich New York City residents leaving the city for more attractive environments in Palm Beach County, Florida, Miami-Dade County, Florida, but the middle class, especially upper middle class, they're linking up with Florida realtors too to see if they can help them relocate. But outside of taxes, safety, and overall comfort of individuals, you also have small businesses on the edge in New York City. This business owner right here is talking about how his Diner 24 had multiple leases ready to sign to expand in New York City, but now they place those plans on hold. They're going to maintain the businesses they already have in the city, but as far as new restaurants, they're placing those plans on hold. They are not moving forward and signing new leases in New York City. Instead, they are entertaining and signing new leases in Miami, where a lot of residents want anything dealing with Mamdani as far away from them as possible. So yeah, you have business owners like this one who's pulling the plug on 3 new establishments in New York City, including one in Midtown West. He said he waited for the election before signing, and now he's not signing. Instead, they're taking their talents to South Beach.
And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Well, I'm not sure if he's going to the beach, but he's definitely opening up those new locations in Miami.
And we have plenty of capital to expand because the business is doing so well, and I believe there's a need for a 24-hour diner. But when you get to that $20 price point, people don't, the politicians don't understand it because they never ran a lemonade stand.
Wow. Did he just say what I was thinking? Listen, a lot of these new politicians popping up, especially the ones taking over places like New York City, they ain't never ran a popsicle stand. And people are voting for these folks to control $100 billion budgets. Like, what's going on? Y'all okay? I mean, they never built a business or anything. Fundamentally, they don't understand finance, yet you're putting these folks over billions.
But when you raise minimum wage to $30, at that point, that $12 hamburger becomes $22. And it's not going to work when you're in the fast casual business where the average ticket is $15 to $24 a person. That's basically a nail in the coffin. You're out of business.
You don't have to look any further than California. I reported on this not long ago. Do you know how many people lost their jobs at these fast food restaurants in California? Over 20,000. All of those jobs gone since September 2023, when Gavin Newsom signed the law, and most of those jobs, about 16,000 of them, they've disappeared since that law went into effect in 2024. More than double the rate of loss seen in fast food outlets nationally. Why? Because the franchise owners and small businesses couldn't afford it. Some of them managed to stay in business, like that Auntie Annie Cinnabon franchise owner I told you about in Northern California, the Bay Area. Folks like him managed to stay in business by passing the extra expenses off to the customers. They're charging people like $7 or $8 now for a pretzel, after going up like 25%. Not to mention, they're about to go up another 20 to 25%, which is why I've also been saying for the longest, y'all need to learn how to cook at home. But a lot of businesses, they couldn't handle it, so they don't even exist anymore. And then you still have others. They're replacing their workers with AI. These are the changes they had to make following the mandatory $20 minimum wage, and New York City is talking about $30. So you have business owners in the food industry worried about what's going to happen to their businesses and if they'll be able to survive the next 4 years.
And all I say to the mayor, upcoming mayor, is, and actually he's quite impressive for a 33-year-old, but he's never run a business. He's never run a small business. And to me, I think he needs to open the doors for dialogue or debate with small business owners like myself and other restaurateurs and other small business owners to open dialogues. I think the best thing for all of us is a better New York City. And I just think his policies, his Democrat socialistic policies do not work for small business.
Well, and you're a big voice in all of this, because if businesses don't want to operate here, that's not good for the city. Here he is, in his own words, making his pitch to New York City businesses. Listen.
So what I want my policies to do is not only to make it easier for working people to afford this city, but also to ensure that businesses are able to attract the top talent to this city. And I'm eager for the relationship between the public sector and the private sector to be more of a partnership than it ever has before.
So I guess that doesn't work for you.
Actually, you know what? The last part did. If he wants to open up dialogue and have an open dialogue and open communication, I would debate him, or I would meet with him, Q&A respectfully. And I'd like to see how he's going to, what his decisions are for small businesses and what direction are we going in. Because remember, it's one thing running a P&L for a restaurant, but it's another thing running a $100 billion city. I just hope he hires very smart people around him, because that's what I do when I run my business. I hire smarter people than myself in certain areas. And that's how I hope he runs the city, because the city is a large corporation. And unfortunately, he has no experience in it. But I got to tell you, he's a pretty articulate guy at 33 years old and impressive. But his ideals for small business are not going to work for us.
I would imagine, Stratus, our viewers are watching and listening to you, a smart businessman. You've been successful for quite some time. You're looking for what's going to work for your next business. They might be wondering, what are your politics?
I've always been an independent. I've always voted for the better person across the lines. But, as you saw during COVID, I always supported small business. And when a politician unconstitutionally shut our businesses down and mandated us a jab for a job, well, I didn't follow those rules. And I feel like it's time to jump back into the debate on what's going on with New York politics. I did it during COVID, and I'm ready to do it again. And like I said, I love a healthy debate with the upcoming mayor, because I do think he's going to need a lot of help, and I do think he needs to hear from us, the small business owners, because I think at the end of the day, it's what's best for New York City is going to be best for all of us, because it's the city I love and the city I grew up in.
Well, to Mayor-elect Mamdani, you heard it here, a business owner, a valued business owner like yourself in the city, willing to hop on the phone and have that conversation. So we want New York City to thrive, those of us who are here.
and I want that debate, Sandra, face to face.
He's a Queens native. He said he's taking his talents and money to invest in his new locations in Miami instead of moving forward with their plans to expand in New York City. And the local leaders in Florida, they're loving the idea of making the state richer by attracting all that money from New York City and California. They're running into places like Florida and Texas. And you have local Florida governments actively advertising to New York City residents. Cities like Boca telling New Yorkers to come on down. And I don't know, I think all of them need to just stay home. Stay in New York City and figure it out. That's my opinion, but hey, these businesses and corporations, they're running out there like crazy. Can you imagine how the United States will look in about a decade or so? All the money from the North and the West is constantly pouring into the South. So what will Carolina look like in 10 years? Or Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, Texas? Well, I have my thoughts, but I guess we'll see. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this below. Shout out to our brother Dark Power. I appreciate you for your support for the channel, as well as our sisters Donna and Starlet. As far as the New York City's mayor-elect, we'll see in time if he's going to get cooperation from New York Governor Kathy Hochul, who recently said they didn't have the money for free buses and told a crowd that was putting pressure on her, the more they push her, the more she won't give them what they want. Yeah, Kathy was talking like an openly defiant OG City girl. If you missed that video, go ahead and watch it. It's coming up next on the screen.